Can't believe I already forgot something. Never fails. This is a video I honestly thought I'd never be making, but here I am making it. And depending on how things go, this might be my one and only time making a video like this. But for starters, welcome to Lackawanna State Park. This is a beautiful state park here in Pennsylvania, just a few miles off 81 North in Scott Township. And it's a park I've been coming to ever since I was a little kid with my family. We've gone here fishing, I think even swimming, other activities like cookouts, stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, this might be the same park that I went camping at as a little kid with my family. And that was a nightmare that I talked about in the past. It was raining, thunderstorming, the tent was leaking, my father's van was leaking. It was a nightmare. And ever since then, I said, I'm never going camping again. It was disastrous. And up until now, I pretty much kept that rule, but I feel there's exceptions that can be made to that rule, one of which is car camping. Now, I did do car camping one other time last year when I joined my friends Jake and Becky to visit the Hutchinson Viaduct. They had a campsite. They allowed me to stay there on site. I brought an air mattress, slept in the car. It wasn't too bad, but I'm definitely a hotel kind of guy. But aside from that, I have little to no experience doing this. Now, I know I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to find out things the hard way. I know I'm going to realize what I should bring or shouldn't bring. And I already forgot to bring something really crucial for this entire stay here. So I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I know there's going to be simpler ways to do things and ways that people do things differently than others. But I'm doing things my way. The way I feel is going to be easy, comfortable, convenient, and not overwhelming or even uncomfortable. So I picked what I feel is one of the premier campsites here at Lackawanna State Park. I'll tell you all about it, show you around. And by the end of this video, you're going to know if this is my one and only time doing this, because I'm either going to love it or I'm going to hate it. And if I do love it, I do plan on maybe incorporating this more on the channel, not only at other state parks or other campsites, but maybe some locations where I go exploring where it's farther away. I get to stay overnight in the vehicle instead of having to do a long day trip or book a hotel. And if it's miserable, I won't be doing it again. I'll stick with hotels. So you're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and the novice making a lot of mistakes, but hopefully making the most of this experience. So that being said, you're invited to come along with me for my first car camping experience here at Lackawanna State Park. I think I'm hearing cows in the distance. Hopefully it's cows. So let's talk for a minute, because I already screwed up before I came here. Now, I booked the site weeks in advance because I know camping season, is popular, it gets busy, and they had an opening. This is a Monday. So check-in time is 3 p.m., checkout time is 3 p.m. tomorrow. I got here about 3:30. Now, booking the site in advance for me was a gamble, because weather right now in Pennsylvania has been a roller coaster ever since winter ended. We have had really hot, humid days. We've had downright cold, chilly days. We've had wind, we've had rain, we've had everything. And I wasn't sure how weather would play out for the actual day that I was going to be here, because if the weather was not good, I know for a fact I would be miserable, especially if it was raining. It'd be like a whole repeat of my childhood. But I will have to say, I don't think I could have asked for a better day. It's around 70 degrees out. Bugs. Low humidity. It's around 35% humidity. Partly cloudy skies. There's like a 20% chance of a shower today, which I think is already passed by us, the percentage of it. And it's going to be down in the 40s tonight. So it's going to be nice and comfortable weather-wise. I think I'm prepared for everything I would need, but I forgot one simple thing. Aside from booking this in advance and hoping for the best with weather, I did make a checklist of all the things I thought I'd have to bring with me that would be needed for this experience. And of all the things I could have brought that I forgot is a freaking tripod. I own probably close to a dozen tripods, all different shapes and sizes and types. And I feel I brought everything else camera and equipment-wise except for a tripod. Now, for me, that kind of bums me out, because that limits what I could do as far as getting you different shots, different perspectives, different visuals of my experience here. What you guys are on right now is my Pocket 3, which has a little flip-out tripod. They're only about 1.5 inches of legs. So it's great for flat level surfaces like this picnic table. I also do have my Osmo Action 4, which has a little tiny selfie stick with a built-in miniature tripod. Again, only extends about that big. And I have my Insta360 X5, which I'll be wearing around my neck for something we're going to do pretty soon. So long story short, the tripods I have are basically useless here unless I had them on a flat level surface. Either that or it's gonna be a down, low to the ground shot. So I really need to get creative with what I could do, is how I could give you different visuals, different perspectives without having the same shot from the same location throughout the whole entire experience. But I was on my way here, getting this camera in my dash for some footage, and I realized there's no tripod. So already off to not a great experience, but that's my own fault. No fault of the car camping experience or the location itself. But before we do anything else, let me give you a brief tour of this campsite and let you know why I chose it. Now this state park I feel has a fairly good sized campground. There's different lanes and roads, different types of hookups and connections, and this is Maple Lane. So I scouted it out online, looking at their website, looking at all the different campsites, and the good thing is that the campsites have photos showing you what the site does look like. And I chose number 82, Maple Lane. I chose this one for a few reasons. Number one is because the bathroom shower facilities are right there. That's my neighbor. So I have that on one side, nobody else next to me or behind me. So I'm gonna have real great peace and quiet. My only close neighbor would be directly across from me, and as of right now, there's no one there. So pretty much I have this entire corner to myself, which is fantastic. It also has a flat level parking pad. And as we come back, you can see obviously a picnic table, a hanging post for a lantern or anything you want to hang there. And behind that, what I'm looking forward to tonight is the fire ring. They do sell firewood on property down near the boat and bike rental. So I did buy a small bundle and looking forward to that tonight for sure. And then behind it, just take it all in. I mean, it is a gorgeous area. Plenty of shade, so no concern of getting sunburn here. Little patch right there. And then we have a direct shot to the bathrooms right there. And then we have our electrical hookup. And that's one of the reasons I chose this site, is because I do have sites that are cheaper that don't have electricity, but I want to power a few things, even though I did bring my power station. So you do have those hookups right there. The only ones I'm gonna be using are the 3-prong outlets. I brought a power strip and an extension cord, and of course my power station. So I have plenty of power here for what I wanna do here tonight. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a fantastic campsite here at the state park. And if you want peace and quiet and don't want neighbors all around you, well, number 82 is one of them that offers that. For curiosity's sake, we'll check out the facilities here, see what they have to offer. So this can be used as a shelter for bad weather. No entry while the staff is cleaning. Oh, it's bright. So we got 3 sinks, water, hand soap, 2 urinals, 2 stalls, and 2 shower stalls. So, looks pretty good, has everything you need here. And again, walking distance to the campsite. So, if you have to wake up in the middle of the night, at least you don't have a far walk to go for that last minute emergency. Are you freaking serious? No. I am batting 1,000 today. So I'm going through my camera bag to get out my X5 360 camera because we're going to do a scooter ride. I'm going to take you for a little tour of the state park here, at least what I could show you on the scooter. Typically when I do scooter e-bike rides, I wear a necklace mount and the camera gets attached to it like right here. Well, I have the camera, don't have the necklace mount. So I am forced to improvise. I don't think I'm going to even bother using this. I'm going to film with my Osmo Action 4 and we're going to have to do some handheld footage, which is not ideal on a scooter because I'm standing up. So I can only imagine what else I probably forgot, but I'm learning the hard way for sure. Thankfully, it's nothing crucial right now. It's going to affect my sleeping experience. It's more or less just for filming. That's one of the main reasons I'm doing this, to see how it's going to come off as a film or a video on my channel and to see what you guys think of it as well. But if I'm not prepared to make a video, well, that kind of defeats part of the purpose. So So far, not so good. So without having to drive around, I did bring my awesome dual motor electric scooter. I'm going to give you a tour of some of the campsites here, and then we'll go down near the lake, show you some of the recreational areas, and just a rough idea of what this park has to offer. It is pretty big. You can't get to all of it without driving in your vehicle, but there is a good amount to see within a short span, so let's check it out. We're now down below my site. My site is basically up there through the woods there. So there are some additional sites down here, but you can't park right at them. There's a designated parking lot here, and you have to walk to your site. I mean, there's still nice sites. You got the picnic table, you got the fire ring. I don't believe these ones have electrical hookups. So these would be more just traditional tent sites. But they are down here, but far enough away that we won't hear each other or we see each other when people are here. So the road on the left is Maple Lane. That's where our site is. It's a one-way in, one-way out. This is like the main thoroughfare here that brings you back to the campsites, which there's a lot of them. They're all spread out. Different roads, different types of sites. So you can always look on the website for yourself, which I will link down below if you do want to get some more information and possibly stay here for yourself. Don't know if you saw it on the way in, they even have a little small playground here. A few swings for the kids. RV dump station right here. They even have a little library system where you could borrow a book or donate a book. Water right there. And plenty of parking if you have visitors or extra vehicles. And this is really difficult doing this, trying to do it one-handed. I'm going extremely slow and not able to record while I'm kind of making some ground. Really kicking myself in the butt for not bringing anything to mount my cameras other than just handheld. So we're making it work though. I'm not going to complain too much, but I am frustrated because this would be a heck of a lot simpler and more fun to do a scooter ride with both hands rather than one. So we're starting off down here from the roadway. This bridge goes over part of the lake here. So lake goes back in that direction and over here, but primarily most of the recreational things are up in this direction, like the fishing docks, I believe boat ramps, boat rental, bike rental, firewood, pavilions, grill pits, stuff like that. So most people usually come to this part of the property, and fishing boats are permitted, but I think it's trolling motor only. And if you follow this road around to the right, the park office is over there in that direction. And wherever we came from is where we entered to get into the park and the campground area. So there is a walking trail or bike trail that goes down lower closer to the water. We're going to go on that and take it along, show you some of the sights, some of the things that there is to do here at Lackawanna State Park. Not a bad view from here. So that bridge right there is where we just were. We were parked behind that white vehicle. So down here you got the boat launch. Gorgeous views. Some green fields. Most people come over here, like I said, for fishing. There's people actually tucked around the corner that I saw from up there on the road that they were fishing down there. I don't know if you could swim in this lake. If you can, they have a designated swimming area, but I think they also have a pool area, but I don't know if you could swim or not. If I do have the answer to that later, I'll put it on the screen. But it's like a postcard right there. Puffy clouds, blue sky, green trees, and pretty calm waters. It's good to see the bathroom facilities down here. Looks like this might be, no, it says warming hut. I thought it was a concession stand. Okay, so a little shelter area. Grill and another dock. Let's take a walk out on the dock. Well, if that barricade wasn't there, it'd be a nice photo. Just the lines of the railings leading right out. Oh, something just jumped. Looks like a lot of seaweed in here. Oh yeah, there's tons of little fish right here in the water. I don't know if you could see them on camera. I can see them by wearing polarized glasses. Also worth mentioning too that as far as I'm aware, e-bikes, and even scooters are allowed here. I've seen multiple people riding around e-bikes or have e-bikes on their trailers or back of their RVs. And I also rode by a park ranger who was parked near their one lot. I was on my scooter, he just gave a wave. So as far as I know, you could bring them here. There was nothing on the website, no signs here saying you can't ride them here. But obviously, ride responsibly, ride nice and slow. But there are plenty of areas to ride around if you do want to bring something here. But if you don't have one to bring, they do have traditional bicycles to rent. And I'll show you where that is a little bit later. So all along this pedestrian path, there's numerous benches. There's some picnic tables and grill pits there by the trees and the wall. And some nice green fields here if you want to run around, play some frisbee or something. Yeah, I didn't think about it, but this would be a nice park too to do a photo walk for my second channel, because there's plenty of wildlife, some nature, some man-made structures, including a spillway. So I think in the future I'll have to come back here with my Nikon. Now on the way in, there are 3 different parking lots. There's parking lots 1, 2, and 3. They are labeled, and each one of them has like a little pavilion area, some benches, picnic tables, a dumpster. And then parking lot number 3 is where you're going to find most of the rentals and other things that you would need if you're here. So we're going to be making our way over there shortly. So it's not open today, but they do have a pool complex, William W. Scranton Pool Complex. So some outdoor seating, indoor seating. They even have a pool menu here. Everything from Parmesan cheese garlic fries to chicken tenders, hot dogs, corn dogs. So not a bad looking pool. Looks like they have a railing going in, like a 0 depth entry, so you can walk right into it. Maybe even people with disabilities could enjoy the pool as well. Looks like they have a splash pad area, some more seating. So yeah, I guess this is maybe the only swimming area at the park. Here is parking lot 3, and here's where you're going to find your rentals. They have kayak, definitely kayak, maybe canoe, bike rentals, and it's also where you can get your firewood. The firewood is available 24/7. It is an honor system. But when I stopped there, they weren't open. Oh, this looks like a brand new bathrooms and pavilion right here. Concrete's like pearly white. Grass is still growing in around it. So this is just past parking lot 3 and right past the rental shop down there. And a nice view from up here, it's elevated. Another thing worth knowing too is that they do have a lot of hiking trails here in all different parts of the state park property. And I actually made a video covering 2 of the trails a number of years ago. I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I started back near the dam spillway area. And one of them was a snowflake trail. I forget the other one, but they basically came up and over and were able to see the pool area and boat launch area from the other side. So if you're into hiking and exploring, plenty of trails here, but some of them do go for miles and you can't get lost, but there's maps available showing you where you are. As far as cell phone service, it's hit and miss. I do have T-Mobile at my campsite. I have about 3 bars there, but when I was at the park office, I had no service there. So depending on where you are and what service you have, you may or may not have network. And would you look at that? They even have an amphitheater. I didn't know this was here. I wonder if they're doing Broadway productions of the Unsinkable Molly Brown. Okay. I guess this could maybe be used as like a wedding reception area or ceremony area, I should say. Nice seating, electricity here. And actually, with the plugs here in that little box platform, probably movies here. It's like a movie screen. And a few picnic tables back there. Now let me know if you got the reference of the Unsinkable Molly Brown. What's that from? If you know, comment down below. This is parking lot 5, I believe. Restrooms right there. Dumpster. Some seating. And I think this is about as far as we could go, whether you're in vehicle or on a bike or scooter. Hot air balloon launch area. Okay. Only balloon vehicles beyond this point. And if I'm not mistaken, but you can't see it from here and you can't get to it from here, but just over in this area is the dam spillway. But to get to it, it's actually a long drive to get to. It's about a 10-minute drive from where we are. You have to go down some public and private roads, some dirt roads, and it's a slow process to get there, but you can go down there. There's public parking. You can see the dam spillway and also access a few of the trails back there, like I did as well. So just so you know for orientation, but this is only a portion of what the park has to offer, the state park. Most people do come to this area, but again, if you're boating, you have a long stretch of the lake and some other hiking trails that you can access from different points. There's a lot to see and do here. So without torturing myself anymore, driving one-handed and filming, let's get back to our campsite. We're gonna start unloading, start setting things up, and more importantly, make dinner pretty soon because I'm starting to get hungry. Now, as far as I could tell, there's no one over here in this section of the campground. There's some RVs and some tents in other areas, but as far as I know, Maple Lane, I'm the only person here. It's pretty awesome. Well, time to unload. Not sure if I overpacked or didn't bring enough. That's yet to be determined. I have a little surprise in this bag. You'll see that tonight. All right, rest of the stuff I think is stay in the car until tonight, and we'll make the bed later. So let me show you what we got over here. For the most part, everything's unloaded. I do have my bag of clothes in there, 2 pillows, the heater, and some wipes and paper towels, just in case I need them. I don't need them out here right now or at all, so they're gonna stay in there. And also I'll be moving it around to make room for the air mattress. But this is what I brought with me. It might be too much, might not be enough, but I'll briefly go over what I have here and we'll go from there. So this is my bag with my laptop. I brought that. Power, external hard drive so I could transfer files, get everything onto the computer ready to start editing once I get home. Also some other cables and chargers. All my camera gear's in here and has everything except my necklace mount and tripods, but I did bring everything else which is still in there. Did bring the drone just in case I decide to get some aerial footage. Up here is something that's pretty cool. I bought it not knowing if I'd ever use it. Well, tonight we are. This is an item I got from Sam's Club when it was on sale over the winter. This is Monster brand, and obviously you can tell there's a screen on it. It is a television, but it's more than just that. You can hook up an antenna that it comes with to get some over-the-air cable channels, but you can also connect the HDMI port to, say, a DVD player or even your phone and stream the media right onto the screen here, which I'll be doing tonight. It's also AM, FM radio. You can also do karaoke on here. There's a microphone input. There's a USB port, so you could charge devices on here as well. So it's an all-in-one unit. It is rechargeable. And I did bring the plug as well to kind of make sure I don't run out of juice. And everything is right there in the little pouch there. So we'll see that later on tonight. Have a little movie night with some snacks. Then we do have my power station. which is, this one's the EcoFlow Pro. This is the one I brought when I went to do car camping with Jake and Becky. And I believe I brought that when I stayed overnight in the abandoned Pittston Hospital. So that's gonna give me power out here, say at the picnic table to charge up devices, power on my computer, but I could also power that off the plug. So I could keep it charged up the entire time I'm here, which is great. This is for tonight, we'll see that later. In here I do have some food for dinner and breakfast. In here is drinks. I do have just some regular bottles of water, cookware, plates, bowls, snacks, and in the tote here, which I just kind of made on a whim to kind of keep things easier contained, extra blanket, gas stove, paper towels, fire starter, 2 LED lamps, a nice fan here, which just in case it was too hot, and it actually has a built-in light too, so I got that off Amazon. So those warmer nights, get a little breeze. In here's all my other cookware stuff, portable stove, gas, utensils, air mattresses down there. Not sure if we'll need this, but I did bring it, the thermal cell to keep mosquitoes away. Batteries in here if I need them for AAA, AA for anything. Wipes, trash bag, Advil, a pump, a knife, and I think that's it. As far as I know, I'm going to need or use most of this during my experience here. And if I don't need anything, well, I'll learn what I don't need to pack. And if I do need something else, well, I'll learn that, hey, you forgot something else beyond just the tripod and a necklace mount. Oh, it's time to get my bed set up. That's one last thing I have to do later. Got the air pump ready to go. Should make quick work of it here. So this is what it looks like. Now there's not a whole lot of headroom, but that's okay. I'm a side sleeper though. This is plenty cushy. I have enough room. And when I want to get in and out, well, I just use the hatch right here. So when I'm inside, I have my remote, double tap it, hatch opens, I come out, and once I'm back inside, double tap, closes behind me. So I never have to crawl in and out of the doors. So I do like the setup. It's pretty easy, convenient. And once I do come out, I'm coming out onto pavement. I got the plug right there. Got the bathroom and showers right there. So far, at least with this, I'm hopeful it's going to be a good night's sleep. It's going to be comfortable temperatures. There's no neighbors near me. And aside from a few mooing cows in the distance, at least this is going in a better direction than how it started. So we're going to tidy up a few more things, and then I think we're going to start dinner pretty soon. So, car for the most part is good to go. A couple little things I got to do before I go to bed, but for the most part, that's taken care of. I got some things put away for now, what I don't need. I have other things out right now. Table's a bit of a mess, but that is because we're going to make dinner. So on the menu tonight, and I should tell you, for those watching on this video, I did put out a post on my Facebook channel, Facebook page, probably a few weeks ago, maybe closer to a month, stating that I was going to be doing this and to give input as to what you'd like to see or have me do. So first thing is, it was unanimous. They want me to make a longer video, at least an hour. So it's going to be at least an hour video, which you already know how long it is. They said they want to see everything, good, bad, ugly, beginning to end. They also said, don't bring any of those camp meals, those freeze-dried ones, because anyone can make those. They said, since you're going to be doing this, make a real meal. I'm by no means a chef. I can make a few things. So we have bacon and eggs for breakfast. Good to go with that. For dinner though, I have to dig it out of here though. Got something that I have to make, but it's kind of partially made already, if that makes sense. I also did like the thermal cell. It's smoking pretty good. I haven't encountered any mosquitoes yet, but just as a precautionary, supposed to give you about a 15-foot radius. So rather have it on and not need it than to need it and not have it on. So for dinner though, I got pasta we're gonna boil up in this pot, and I have shrimp scampi in this bag here. So it has already the butter, the seasoning, everything you would need. You just have to basically fry it up. So we're gonna get some water boiling, get this going, and prepare dinner. Even though I can't get water over there at the bathroom, they have a sink for washing. This is convenient. Jeez, that was a flame. So we're gonna get that boiling, and now we're gonna get the stovetop going. And I bought a brand new cook stove. This is Vivicrete. I got it off Amazon, picked the blue color. Just takes your simple can right there. It's maybe my first time using it. Okay, we got that going. Gonna let this warm up a little bit, and then we'll put the shrimp on. And hopefully in about 10 minutes, give or take, should have basically a shrimp scampi. Should be pretty good. All right, we are ready to go. Make sure you get every last bit of that. That's the good stuff. Oh, I can always smell the garlic. So we'll let that cook for a bit, mix it around every few minutes until the shrimp's all done, and we'll be at a boil pretty soon as well. Kick that up a little bit. And if this is making you hungry, pause the video, make something to eat, and you can eat with me. All right. Oh, if you could only smell this. And if you couldn't tell, I'm getting creative with the camera angles here. I got this camera on top of my stove pack, and you guys are on top of the power station as it's actively charging batteries for my cameras. So not ideal, but we're making it work. Shrimp's all done. Turned it off for now. I don't want all the butter and goodness to evaporate. Noodles are just about done. Gonna give them about another 30 seconds. We'll drain them, plop them back in here, heat this up one more time, give it a good stir, and dinner will be served. Just gonna let it simmer for a minute or two, let everything kind of soak into the noodles. Now typically I have this shrimp scampi with like brown rice, but figured do a little bit of pasta. Oh, I am hungry and it smells delicious. Just about done. Everything is nicely coated on the noodles. I'm not gonna be able to finish this in one sitting, I don't think, but it's definitely not gonna go to waste. I'll have like dinner part 2 later on tonight. But I do have snacks for movie night. I'll let you know which movie we're watching. I downloaded 3 of them from Netflix, so we'll see which one I'm in the mood for. And also get the fire going too. And now that I'm here and it's starting to like settle down a little bit, the chaos is over, the forgetfulness is past, I am enjoying this at the moment. I will say that. Not saying I'm gonna definitely be in love with this, but things aren't going terribly at the moment, so I'll take the win while we have it. Make sure we get all the garlic, all the butter. That's the best part of it. So like I mentioned, if you are hungry, now's the time to go get your food. Eat with me here. I'm not gonna eat the entire thing in front of you guys, obviously, but I'm gonna have a few forkfuls. Wash it down with some water. Let's try a piece of shrimp first. Like always, let you guys have the first bite. A little hot. I got overly ambitious there. A little hot, but tastes just how it should. Delicious. A couple noodles here. Yep, it soaked everything in. That was a good combination. Let's do noodles and shrimp together here. Get a nice big forkful. So take some, leave some for me. Ooh, hot, but so good. And if you are eating with me, tell me what you're having. This is gonna definitely hit the spot though, and I might have to take a walk later. I might feel a little bit guilty after all this, but definitely we'll have leftovers for later. Now that is peace and quiet. Sun is ready to set. And I've seen maybe about 4 people come near my site since I've been here. 3 people walking, 1 person riding a bike. I am pretty sure I'm the only person on Maple Lane staying in this area. I have the entire place to myself. I wanted to take a walk just in the woods here to see if there's any loose sticks I could use for kindling. Looking for some fallen branches, just like that. And also just kind of taking in the environment. That'd be good. I do hear a lot of rustling in the leaves, and a few times I thought there was someone coming or maybe a deer. Nothing other than squirrels playing tag with each other. And here's a look where I was showing you before when we took the scooter out. I was saying there were some tent sites that you had to park at and go into without power hookups. That's those down there. So, like I said, you're far enough away from pretty much anyone else at Site 82. But gorgeous section of woods. Goes all throughout down there. Nice tall trees. And there's my site. I'm going to bring you over. Made a few changes. So right now, got everything cleaned up. Looks a bit better here on the table. I just got done transferring files from the cameras from the earlier footage. I was listening to some music. I got that charging up. Got all my batteries pretty much topped off. Everything is nearly complete. Just making sure everything is at 100%. But the power station's still doing good. Still got 91% battery on that. And again, we are going to plug that in tonight from our electrical hookup. The thermocell, as far as I know, is doing its job. I don't know if there's any mosquitoes out or not. I haven't encountered any. Maybe they're not out. Maybe it's because of that. But like I said, better safe than sorry. And if you're wondering what was in that white bag, I brought lights. Figured why not light it up a little bit, give it some ambient lighting. So I have it wrapped around the tree, zip tied to each other. Then I have it on our pole up here, zip tied as well. So easy setup, easy takedown. But they were drooping, so I did find a stick with a notch in it just to prop it up. So these ones do change colors. I can have any color I want, so I could have white or blue or red or whatever my heart desires. And for the car, I do have a tarp down just for when I get in and out of the car, so I'm not going on bare pavement. And I did bring sandals with me, so if I have to get out for any reason at night, I could slip on my sandals. They'll be clean. My feet will be clean. Basically in the car, it's just pillow, blanket, air mattress. The pump's on the ground. Thankfully, this held air, so there's no hole in it. I do have the cable coming through the window, so we could keep the power station charged up if I need to use it. Front seat just has my clothing bag, my backpacks, the heater if I do need it. But hopefully, I have a good night's sleep. At the very least, did I do a pretty good job choosing a good site? I think so. Has everything I wanted. On top of that, it's extremely peaceful and beautiful. Well, I realized I forgot one more thing. Dish soap. I went over to clean the pan and the utensils and realized I have nothing to clean them with. So I just used the hot water, rubbed them with my hands and the paper towel, got them as clean as I could. It's not a huge deal because I'm using them again tomorrow. They're just gonna get dirty again. But yeah, if you bring pots and pans, bring dish soap. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to relax for a little bit, make sure everything's done as far as transferring files. Everything's charged up, good for the remainder of the night into tomorrow. Then I'm gonna get changed And I guess after that, we'll get the fire going. Hang out for a little bit by the fire, and then it's movie time for me. But at least I'll show you what I'm watching, and then we'll climb in and call it a night. Well, nighttime's upon us. It has cooled off a lot, and I think it's a good time for a fire. And honest to God, I am getting tired. I don't know if I'm going to make it through a movie or not. I'm going to start it at least, but I have a feeling I'm going to make it maybe a quarter of the way through. I'm going to be retreating to the car. So let me get this kindling broken up, and we'll get this starter. While that gets going, here's how the site looks. Got the lighting on. Looks pretty good. Just enough lighting, not too bright. Got the picnic table lit up. And there's almost no wind at all. It is dead calm. And as mentioned, I could change the lights if I want to. There's red, green, dark blue, light green, purple, teal or aqua, more of a cooler white, and then it does like a pattern. Well, here's how it looks in front of the campsite. Pretty dark. Got the bathrooms right there. And here's my site. Not too shabby for my first time doing this. Lighting is definitely a nice touch. And got the fire, got the chair. We have some cold drinks and some snacks. So let's enjoy it. Throw another piece on so we're good for a while. Oh, this is definitely the highlight for me. Sit down by a fire and do nothing except relax and hang out with you guys for a bit. My drink of choice tonight is red, white, and blue, which is Ultra Red, White, and Blue Raz Monster Zero Sugar. It's a newer flavor. It's not too bad. I like the can though, very patriotic. And although I did bring a whole bag full of snacks, I just opted for a small pack of Snyder's mini pretzels, and if I want to satisfy my sweet tooth, Snickers. A couple things worth mentioning is that obviously this is by no means roughing it. I know this is not what traditional camping is. I do know people go car camping, but typically it's more stealthy or in remote locations, not typically at campgrounds. But being that I'm dipping my toes into the water for the first time, I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't really want to overwhelm myself too much. And being prepared is one thing, but actually utilizing everything that you bring is another. And for the most part, I think I did a pretty good job of that. Aside from me missing the tripod, the necklace mount, and dish soap, as far as I know, I have everything else. You know, the more important stuff. So that's good. But I do like to be prepared as much as I can, but typically when I go out and do my adventures, I always pack my gear the night before because I have a clear state of mind. I know exactly what I'll need or potentially need, where I actually ended up packing my gear today I was a bit flustered doing a few things at once. That's how it happened. So lesson learned, just get it ready the night before like you usually do and probably be good to go. As far as if I'm going to do this in the future, I don't have an answer of that until probably tomorrow morning, depending on how the sleep goes. I'm anticipating a decent night's sleep because, like I said, I'm pretty tired. The air mattress is holding air, so I won't be deflating overnight. And it's not going to be too hot, not too cold. I'm probably going to ditch the hoodie once we do go to sleep. But once I wake up, depending on what time I wake up, I'm either going to get breakfast made or I might do a scooter ride down to the lake when it's early in the morning and get some views of that. So one way or the other, both those things are going to happen. Just don't know what the order is going to be yet. But yeah, this is not roughing it by any means. But for me saying I'll never go camping again, I think it's a big step, at least for me. I still won't go tent camping. I pretty much refuse to do that unless I got paid to do it. And even then, I might not do it. I have no problem staying overnight in a building like I did the abandoned Pittston Hospital. I have another upcoming location of a structure I'm going to be staying in overnight. I don't mind doing that because I'm basically having the same setup minus a vehicle. I'm just inside of a building, but there's no tent. So I'm okay with doing this, but if I end up liking this and decide to continue to do it, I not only want to do more campgrounds or state parks, but I like to utilize this method for exploring farther away places. I love hotels. It's easy, convenient. I love, having everything that you need right there and get a good night's sleep and a shower. And yeah, you have the same things here, but it's not quite the same as a hotel. Just my preference. But obviously, they're a heck of a lot more expensive. I only paid, I think, $35 for this site. And that's with a discount for being a PA resident and like a $6.50 non-transferable fee for something for booking it. So $35 compared to $100, $150, $200 for a hotel. Quite affordable to go camping, but not as luxurious. And, well, weather plays a big factor in how things are going to play out. But for some locations I go to, which are a few hours away, if I don't feel like driving back, I could bring just that tote of the bare necessities and sleep in the car if I have to at a place that allows it without even having to pay for a campsite. But I didn't want to go to a normal campground. I did want to do something or somewhere that has more than just campsites. And that's why I opted for Lackawanna State Park. It has a little bit of everything. The hiking trails, the lake, the trails, the pathway that we rode on. There's a lot of different roads around here you could ride or walk on. Beautiful nature. And it's just a gorgeous location. Cows in the distance, faint traffic in the distance, no light pollution at all. I can actually see stars. So I'm happy with what I chose as far as the camping location and the site 82 on Maple Lane. A couple of leftover pieces of firewood from the last person here, so it's nice. And like I said, the firewood is available 24/7. So, if you want to have a fire going all night, you can always go get more wood if you need to. It's $7 for a bundle. If you buy larger quantities, it's cheaper. So, for example, $7 for one bundle, $12 for two bundles, so on and so forth. So, it's affordable. It's on site. It's safe wood. They don't want you bringing in wood from other locations. So everything you need here is here. I brought those quick fire starters they use for fireplaces and had a lighter and good to go. Still got the thermocell going. I did get one, I think it may not even been a mosquito, but something landed on my neck earlier before we got the fire going. It could have been something else though. It could have been a moth. Now for movie night, what am I going to be watching? I'm going to give you some hints. I'm not going to tell you what it is though until the movie actually comes on. I want to see if you can guess it and see if you're right. So, a couple clues I could tell you without giving away too much, which I probably will. It's going to be kind of obvious. It takes place in the 80s. It's a comedy. takes place in New York City. And can I give away anything else? Has some really funny actors in it. Obviously, it's a comedy. So those are your clues. If you happen to have an idea, comment down below, or feel free to let me know at the end when you comment if you were right or not with what you were thinking. Hear geese flying over. Any clue I'm watching yet? Yep. None other than Ghostbusters.
I have to go now, but I'd like to work with you some more. Perhaps.
Not my most flattering look, but I am here, ready for bed. And may hit a little bit of air out of the mattress. It's a little bit hard, but it may lose a few PSI overnight, so I'll see. It's a bit warm in the car. According to my phone, it's 58 degrees out, at least in Scranton. Up here, it's a few degrees cooler, maybe closer to 55. It's supposed to go down to 48 tonight. That's overnight, around 5, 6 in the morning, so it will cool off. I probably will be putting the blanket on later, but right now, I'm just going to be laying here like this. It's 11, what time is it? It's 11:26 right now. Typically, I don't go to sleep till closer to 1 o'clock. I'm usually up editing or catching up on shows or videos or something like that, but I definitely got a lot of fresh air today. Doing a lot, setting things up, taking things down, so I'm feeling pretty tired. Didn't make it through the movie, but watched probably a little bit more than half of it. Had the fan on low just to get a little bit of breeze in here. And I have my power station plugged in, which you might hear the fan running. That's just charging up. Once it's done, I will unplug it. Beyond that, though, I have my keys if I do need to get out, use the facilities, hopefully not more than once. And depending on how well I sleep will determine when I get up. I might be up super early. I might be sleeping in if I'm really comfortable. But regardless, you already know what the plans are going to be. We'll be going down to the lake just to get some views of it in the morning and making some breakfast, and then we'll decide if we're going to do anything from there. So I know this video is probably a little bit all over the place, a little bit, unorthodox, especially for someone who typically never does this. But if you are still watching and you do make it to the end, thank you for being patient and understanding and, just listening to what I'm going through. It's something I'm not used to, but like I said, I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, try something different and new. And even if it doesn't happen again, hey, at least I could say I tried. But I want to say good night to all of you, and I'll see you in the morning. That was a rough night. There's a couple of reasons why. And I don't know if something triggered it or not, but most of my adult life, especially since I was a teenager, but primarily as an adult, I've had restless leg syndrome, primarily with my right leg. And more often than not, it happens when I'm trying to go to bed, laying down, getting comfortable, and the right leg just wants to jitter or jolt and get fidgety, and usually the only way to make it stop is by getting up and walking around. So my plan was to hopefully be asleep by 12 o'clock last night. Well, 12:30 rolls around and I was still awake when my legs started acting up. I'm like, here we go. So I crawled out of the car, did some walking around, used the facilities, figured, okay, that should do it. Crawled back in the car, and it wouldn't go away. It was still bothering me. 1:30 rolls around. Get out of the car again. Do some more walking around. And by that time, it started getting pretty cold out too. Like, it was not freezing, but it was, you know, you needed more than a t-shirt. And the car started getting cold. So after that, crawled back in the car. Fell asleep, but woke up at 2:30 because my leg was acting up again. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So again, crawled the car, did some walking around, was kicking it around and kind of stretching it out. Excuse me. And went back in the car and went back to sleep. And then around 4:30 I woke up, not because of my leg, but because I was cold in the car. Thankfully, I brought my little space heater. I was able to plug it into my power station and get some heat in the car. Otherwise, I'd have to start the car up. I didn't want to do that. I could have put more layers on, but I figured I brought it, might as well use it. So at first, it was too warm in the car, almost too warm. Then it became cold and uncomfortable. So got the heater on, went back to sleep. 6:30 rolls around, my leg is acting up again. And I was already asleep. Usually it only happens when I'm ready to fall asleep. So 6:30, woke up, used the facilities, took a quick walk, went back to bed till about 8, and I've been up ever since. So I had a really rough night's sleep. So it was a combination of temperature changes in the car that made it, you know, not the ideal sleeping conditions, and then my restless leg. Now, funny thing enough, my restless leg, there's no rhyme or reason when it happens. There's times where it'll happen a few times a month, and there's times where it won't happen for a few months. And I don't know what triggered it, but I don't know if it was the air mattress. I don't know if it was just the position I was sleeping. I mean, I'm a side sleeper, but I was laying on my back, my side, every way I could to try to get a position that's not going to do anything that make it uncomfortable. But that was one of the worst nights with my restless leg, and that prevented me from having a good night's sleep. All in all, I got maybe 4 hours, 4.5 hours if I'm lucky. But with that being said, it's a gorgeous morning out. It is after 9 o'clock right now. And I'm going to get changed. I thought about doing breakfast, but I'm not real hungry yet. So I think we're going to hop on the scooter, go down to the lake, just see how it looks down there, see what's going on, if anyone's fishing or if there's any birds or whatever it is, just to get a view of the lake in the morning here. Then we'll come back, get set up for breakfast, and we'll decide if we're going to do anything after that. But make it ready, we'll head down there. Nice and quiet down here, and the lake is almost completely still. Get some nice reflections off the trees there. There is some music playing I could hear. There's a school bus, some type of event going on over by the rental area. I want to see someone's hat. I hear a couple frogs or toads in the distance, croaking. And there's one boater out there near the bridge. I think we'll take a little ride over by the boat launch, check out that dock, get a view closer over there. But pretty quiet. Just encountered a few people walking their dogs this morning. A couple walkers walking around the camp area. And I also, let's see if it's on the scooter before it shuts off. The distance from my campsite to here, it'd be a long walk. So I recommend, having a bike, or you'd have to drive. But let's see. This should have tracked the distance. Yeah, it might not be showing, but it's 1.5 miles. So from where we left to right here, 1.5 miles. So it's a good distance away. Not terribly far. I mean, it's a nice long walk. But if you have a bicycle or a spare vehicle or whatever, you could drive down to here. Save yourself a boatload of time. Oh, look at it. They use railroad tracks as anchors. No fishing from this dock. And the dock's a little a little bendy and flexy. I'm trying to see how deep the water is. Okay, I can see the bottom. I can see the edge of the concrete right there. And it's about maybe 3-4 feet deep right there. I don't know how deep the lake is though. Oh, look at it. There's a crane. Yeah, one lone boater out there. But you could go with your boat under the bridge, have access to the whole other side. And like I mentioned too, when I took the hiking trails, making my video, I ended up somewhere, I want to say over there, if I'm not mistaken. But gorgeous day so far. It's in the 50s right now. It's warming up pretty quick. Slight breeze, maybe 2-3 miles per hour. Don't feel any humidity at all. And looks like cloud free. Is that like a little groundhog or something? A little chubby guy. And he's not afraid of people. I'm about 5-6 feet away from him. Gonna do a little snacking. I don't think I've ever been this close to one. Usually they run away pretty quick. Yeah, he's munching. A little breakfast. Oh, you're speaking my language, because I'm going to go do the same. Enjoy your breakfast, little guy. So I got a few things packed up. I took the lights down. I got the air mattress put away. Packed up a few other things back in the tote. Transferring some more files. And now, time for breakfast. So, I'm going to do some bacon first. And then when the bacon's done, I'm going to use the grease from that to make a few eggs. So I should splash it onto the camera. Trying to get you some good close-up shots of the bacon, but I don't want to get some grease on the lens. Yep, I got grease on the lens. How do you like your bacon? Do you like it like halfway done where it's still kind of soggy but cooked? Or do you like it like 3/4 of the way done or close to burned? I like it well done, not burned. Mostly crispy, a couple sections where it's still a little bit tender. So what are you doing for breakfast? Pancakes, eggs, French toast? I do like waffles. I like waffles more than pancakes, but it's a good pancake. I won't turn it down. Now, what kind of eggs do you like? Do you like scrambled? Over easy? or as people call them, dippy eggs. I didn't feel like scrambling them up, so I'm just going to do them over easy. I don't have any toast, but probably mixing some of the bacon with the runny yolk. Just about done though. This is cooking pretty quick. I brought 3. I think I'm just going to do 2. Well, I can tell you it's not going to be the most healthiest breakfast, but it will be delicious. And I think that's going to do it. This is breakfast. Bacon and eggs. Let's see if they're done on the inside or not. Yeah, a little bit dippy. What is that noise? That must be brush cutting or something. Well, the peace and quiet didn't last, but that's okay. They gotta get their jobs done around here. So, let's see, I guess we'll try the egg first. Hopefully it's done to your liking. Take a bite if you want. And nice crisp piece of bacon. That's even better. Well, I'm going to enjoy my breakfast. Hopefully you do the same, and I'll see you right after this. Using the last of the power to charge up the television from last night. I got a few more things to put away in the tote. Then I can load up the tote, load up the scooter, some odds and ends, and for the most part, I'll be ready to go whenever I do decide to go. I do have up until 3 o'clock, although I want to be out of here before 3 because 3 o'clock is the check-in time for the new tenant, if you want to call it that. So I'm probably going to leave around 1:30. I'm not going to be filming up until then, but at least wanted to let you know what my plans are going to be, make the most of my stay here. And that's what they're doing. They're cutting down by those tent sites down there. Cutting the grass down. They got a little 0-turn mower. Park is pretty active this morning. A lot of people walking, biking. Trying to stay on top of the file transfer so I don't have a lot to do when I get home. So each time I'm done filming a segment with my cameras like this one, I'm immediately transferring the files over, staying ahead of it. So I have the files from last night when we were sitting by the fire and the greasy B-roll this morning. So running into a little dilemma here as I'm just thinking in my head. As you're watching this video, you already know how long the video is going to be. I don't know that yet. As I'm making this video, you're kind of seeing a little bit behind the scenes. and the thought process of what goes into making this video. Now, typically for my adventure exploring videos, even e-bike videos, my normal stuff that's in my wheelhouse, I pretty much know how I want the video to play out, and I have a good idea how long the length is going to be. For this, since I never filmed this before, I'm basically starting from scratch. As mentioned, I did make a Facebook post. Viewers told me, make a longer video, show as much as you can, the good, the bad, everything in between. Without a doubt, I filmed more footage than I absolutely need. I have 2 cameras that I've been using the entire time, and I got different angles, different shots, and I've been keeping it, trying to keep it real and transparent with you. You know, sharing my thoughts, complaining when necessary, also looking at the bright side of things, sharing the good things. But there's a line between making a video that's going to be entertaining enough to keep people watching the entire way through, or making it too long where people lose interest. And that's a fine line I don't like to cross. I like to kind of have a happy medium. I know some of you dedicated viewers will watch the entire thing, and I'm definitely grateful for that. But I want to make a video that appeals to, you know, a good size audience. But this is something that's out of my comfort zone, and I'm just trying to think how I want this to play out. Definitely feedback will be helpful when this video comes out as far as length. You know, if I showed something for too long, or if I didn't show something long enough. You know, editing for 16 years now, I have a pretty good sense as to how I want videos to look and play out. So I'm going to do what I feel is necessary for this video, but without a doubt, I could have probably cut out certain things or maybe added other things in. But I've been trying to keep it as authentic and genuine, as real, and being transparent with you as much as I can throughout this whole experience. Once I get done here, since it is noisy in this area, I think we're going to take one more scooter ride, not to show anything, but just to go to a quieter area near the lake to talk, because I do want to share my thoughts about, am I going to do this again? Is this a one-off experience, or is this something I'm going to do again? As you know, I didn't have a good night's sleep, and I forgot things that made things a little bit more challenging. So it was not an experience without any flaws. So we're going to head over there later, chat a little bit. I'll share my thoughts, and you'll know by then if you're going to see me doing this again and what my overall impression was of my first solo camping experience here at Lackawanna State Park. Found a nice little shady spot here with a great view of the lake. What an absolutely gorgeous day, though. Well, since we're going to sit and talk, I figured I might as well give you guys a nice view. I know I'm a little bit dark in the image, but that background's way nicer than looking at me. But I just want to share what my thoughts are on this experience. But before I do that, and to tell you if I'm going to do this again or not, I want to just touch briefly on the park. Lackawanna State Park is a real gem of a location. I forgot how fantastic it is. Coming here as a kid, you know, I have some memories, not a ton, but I do remember coming here with my family. The last time I was here was when I did the hiking video, which was a few years back, and I only came to do the hiking video. I forgot how much this place has to offer. I mean, on top of that, it's really well maintained. It's clean. They do a great job keeping the grass maintained. There's dozens upon dozens of picnic tables. There's hiking, walking trails. There's fishing, a pool for swimming, bike and canoe or kayak rentals. A little bit of something for everyone. So this park, without a doubt, has a thumbs up for me. I think it's a great park, especially to camp here. The campsite, the one I picked, I love the campsite. I mean, Site 82, fantastic. You have your own little corner there. You're right next to the facilities. No neighbors close to you. And even if the campsite was sold out, you still have a nice little private area at Site 82. So if I ever come back here for that, that's the site I'm staying at again. Also, feels completely safe here. There's only one way in, one way out of the campsite area. So there's no random traffic coming through other than people who are already here. You could leave things out, probably not have to worry about it at all. I locked up my scooter. I probably didn't have to, but now I know I probably don't have to. With that being said, will I do this again? Oh, that's a question that I've been asking myself since I got here. And the one thing I was told by a few people is that, you know, camping, even car camping, is something you're going to love, something you're going to hate. And I think that holds true, but not for me. I'm kind of right down the middle. I don't love it, I don't hate it. So with that being said, I will do it again, but I think I'm going to set some boundaries as to what I'm willing to do and not do. Obviously, I didn't have a fantastic, flawless experience. I forgot things, my tripods, my necklace mount, dish soap. Not critical things, but things that could have made this experience a little bit better. Sleeping wise, you know, I slept really crappy. I mean, it was a terrible night's sleep. I'm going to be going to bed early tonight, if not even taking a nap later this afternoon. I don't know if that was my body telling me, hey, this is not for you. So it made my leg act up, so I had a miserable night. Or if it's just a fluke that, you know, my leg decided to act up that badly while I was trying to sleep in the car. I mean, I was tired in the evening. I thought I was going to get a great night's sleep. I didn't. I was up more times than I wanted to be and really became accustomed to crawling in and out of the car. But having the keyless remote for the hatch made things, you know, doable. So it wasn't terrible, but sleeping wise, I can't really contribute it to the park. It's not the campsite's problem. And I don't think it's my car's problem. I mean, I slept in it when I stayed at the campsite with Jake and Becky. I slept better there. I mean, there was enough room in there for me to toss and turn. Like I said, I'm a side sleeper. There's enough room for me to put things in there. I was able to stretch out. My feet weren't touching the door. So, I mean, it fits me as a person to sleep in it. That's not the issue. It's just the experience. I mean, in order to come here and do this, I had to do a lot of planning and packing, and then coming here, unloading it, setting things up, and then packing it back up. There's a lot of work involved. I mean, whether you're tent camping or car camping or any type of camping, you have to do some work. You know, it's not just pull up, enjoy, and then go to sleep. It's not so easy. So although what I did was kind of minuscule to what other campers do, you know, it still took effort. It took planning, you know, it took physical work, walking to and from the car, loading it, unloading it, doing all that stuff. And that's part of the experience. I mean, I know that's a given. The thing though is that I'm a hotel person, like I said. I love having a nice climate-controlled room. I like having a clean shower and bathroom and a toilet right there in your room. Nice, clean, comfortable bed. I'm never going to give up hotels, especially for extended stays. So hotels aren't going to change, but on the flip side, hotels are considerably more expensive than campgrounds. Paying $35 for this site, I feel, is a great bargain. And even if you stay at a site that's like a tent site with no power hookups, it's even cheaper. So paying a fraction of a hotel room, definitely practical and affordable in that fashion. But if you don't get a site near the facilities, or if you don't have a power hookup, your stay may not be as enjoyable. The other factor is weather. Weather was something I was really concerned about prior to coming here, because I did book this weeks in advance to make sure I had the site. And with the weather, how crazy it's been, it was a real roll of the dice. I thought for a few times when the weather was fluctuating, I'm going to be maybe canceling my trip here or just being miserable here. I mean, if there was anything of hot and humid or rainy and thunderstorms or just nonstop wind, I wouldn't have been as happy-go-lucky about it as I am. I would have been downright miserable and probably complaining left and right. I'm like, why am I here? I should be at a hotel. But this was just more or less for the experience. And as a whole, I think it was an overall good experience. Not great. I don't love it, but I'm not completely against it. I am willing to do it again. I don't want to write off this experience as said and done, that, you know, you didn't sleep good, you had some frustrations, things didn't go according to plan exactly. Don't do it again. I'm not going to do that. I am going to give it another try. But this is where I do see myself setting a boundary. I know a lot of people do car camping or stealth camping in areas where you typically don't go camping, whether it be like a Walmart parking lot or on the side of the road or on a dirt road. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't see that being for me. Number one, there's no facilities there to take a shower, to go to the bathroom, to, you know, wash your face, stuff like that. There's no electrical hookup. It's also, you know, more safety concerns. You'd have to get blinders or shades for your windows so no one could look in. You need to make sure you have everything with you that you need to sleep and stay overnight in your car without having to really go anywhere. So I think that'd be a lot more stressful, a lot more prep work, and a lot more drawbacks than pros for doing that type of car camping. So I don't see myself doing that, at least not right now. Things could always change, but if I do it again, I see myself doing another state park. I mean, I'm looking at maybe Promised Land State Park because they actually have lakefront campsites where you're actually at the water's edge. I know they book well in advance, so that's something I have to look into months ahead of time. There's other campsites though there that are available. I'm also open to input for other parks too. I don't necessarily want to go to a traditional campground. I mean, I have been at Knoebels Campground. My family and I stayed in the cabin there a few times. We enjoy that, but we're not really campers in the sense of like going in a tent or car camping. So this is just something I see myself doing by myself once in a while if I was to continue doing it, but I am willing to give it one more try. So despite my lack of sleep, despite the frustrations, despite not knowing how the weather is going to be, I will do it one more time. If that experience is no better than this one, well, I'm just going to say, you know what? I gave it 2 tries. It's just not for me. I do love nature. I love hiking. I love exploring. I love swimming. I just don't think I love sleeping in nature, strangely as it is. But I don't have a problem sleeping in a building, even though I didn't sleep when I did that experience at the Pittston Hospital. I didn't sleep at all. I was too nervous. But I have another overnight experience coming up in another abandoned type building, but I'm not going to be alone, hopefully. So that, we'll see how that plays out. But that I'm open to because that involves exploring and sleeping overnight. So you will see me do this again, but I will be honest, I'm not looking for finger pointers saying you screwed up with this, you should have done this better, you should have done that. This was, the wrong thing to do. I know I could have done better. I'm a beginner, I'm a novice. I had a lot of learning to do. I a lot of times learn the hard way. So if I was to do this on a regular basis, yeah, I'd be asking, share your tips and tricks. But being that I'm not going to do this often, I'm okay with how I did things. I did them what I felt was necessary for me, and the mistakes I made were on me, but they weren't crucial mistakes. I made the whole experience work without a tripod, without a necklace mount, without dish soap. And despite not sleeping good, there's no one to blame but myself and my restless legs. So I'm not trying to be rude or harsh or anything like that, but I know there's people out there that do this regularly, had tons of experience, and more credit to you, but everyone starts from somewhere. I'm starting from basically nothing and learning, what I need, what I don't need. But I did bring, I feel, everything I needed. There's not hardly anything I brought that I didn't use. And I'm glad I brought the heater. It did cool off quite a bit overnight. If I had a sleeping bag, it wouldn't have been a problem. I do have one that Becky gifted me. I didn't bring it though. I didn't think I was going to need it. But the heater with the power station warmed up the car in no time. It was quite comfortable after that. So I definitely brought everything I needed. Maybe 1 or 2 things I didn't need, but I didn't feel like I'd left anything out that was too crucial or critical. So we're going to head back to the campsite, make sure everything's tidied up, cleaned up, ready to go for the next arrivals of Site 82, and head on out of here. Well, I think I got everything packed away and cleaned up, leaving it just how I found it. Had a trash bag with all my trash accumulated, so dropped off in a dumpster down there, nice and convenient. And just going to take a quick walk through, make sure I didn't leave anything behind. There's no papers, no garbage. Chunk of wood that didn't burn, but primarily it actually looks better than how I found it yesterday, so I'm happy with that. Leave that stick there for the next person to move their fire logs around. Everything else, though, seems to be as it should be. Everything packed away. I didn't leave anything behind. And that means this is going to conclude my car camping experience. First time ever on my channel. Could I have done things better? Absolutely. Could I have done things worse? Definitely. So being my first time officially doing this, I'm okay with how it went. I learned a few mistakes, learned things that could make the experience better, learned that I need to pack the night before instead of the day of. But picking the right campground or park and having good weather, without a doubt, easily will dictate how your experience will be. I know I would never want to come camping if it was hot and humid out and sticky. It'd be miserable. I'd be having the car on with air conditioning. And cold is not so much a big deal because you could dress in layers, have a heavy sleeping bag. I have my portable space heater. So I can see me doing this in the cold, but not in hot weather. Nor would I want to even be sitting out by a fire when it's hot and sticky out. So if you guys have never gone camping before or even car camping, hopefully this gives you a sense of what it's like. Not only what the park has to offer, but what the particular campsite has to offer. And like I said, I feel this is probably one of the premier sites here, because each time I'm riding to and from the lake, I'm going through the different roads, looking at the different campsites. I mean, they're all nice, but pretty much from here on up, you're buddy with each site. Your picnic tables and fire rings are no more than like 20, 30 feet away from each other. So you're not gonna have a whole lot of privacy, not as quiet. It also worked to my favor too that Maple Lane was completely empty except for me. I was the only resident here. So regardless if this is your type of thing or not, would love to hear your thoughts on at least what I was able to share with you for my experience and the park itself. And like I said, I will be doing it again. Not sure when, not sure where, but I will do it one more time, give it a fair, honest try, and hopefully my restless leg won't be such an issue. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. And like always, I'll see you in the next video.